Hello there, warrior goddess sisters. I wanted to say thank you for all of you who have looked at the brain fog video that I did last week. I'm overjoyed with the amount of comments that I've had, and I'm really excited that this has resonated with you. And again, I would love to develop a warrior goddess community for those women who are moving forward in their healing season, and where some tips and tricks and little things can be shared that can benefit us as a community as well. So thank you. I'm overjoyed with the responses that I've gotten on that last video, and continuing to put out additional content that will be helpful for us as a community as we move forward. So today's topic is going to be about Thanksgiving prep or holiday prep. And the holiday season can be very stressful for many of us in our healing season, and this may be our first Thanksgiving, being separated or divorced, or whatever situation you find yourself in. This might be the first holiday that you're brushing up against a new normal. And this may be your fourth or fifth or even 10th holiday that you are navigating. And this is for anybody who's in that space, in their healing space, and looking for new ways to navigate the holiday. And today I'm going to share a whole type of thing that somebody did for me back when I was in the military. I was navigating a very traumatic situation that involves some different family and me going to this event and different things. And I remember the chaplain sitting down with me and just really reviewing all the different scenarios that could come up and how I could keep myself safe and also in a good state of mind. So what he did for me back in the military, I'm going to do with you as we navigate this first Thanksgiving or wherever you're at in your healing season. And one of the things when we're in healing, we have to be more preemptive. We can't wing the holiday seasons. And I have found for myself that there's too many expectations other people have, or even my own expectations of romantic holidays and different things like that. And for me, it just sometimes can be a grief landmine full of disappointments and hopes and dreams that were supposed to happen that didn't happen, and they're just everywhere. And so having a plan to move forward in this holiday season can be very helpful. And having a plan helps us to be protective of ourselves and self-supporting, and especially during this holiday season when there's just emotional stuff, there's family stuff, and then there's disconnection for those of us who are in a healing season. So it's we need to be decisive, we need to be active, and we need to be bold for our plan for the holiday. And there's planning that needs to be done both for us and for other people. And if we do that right, then we have the Goldilocks plan. Or we have something that's more tangible, like, hey, this worked and this didn't work, and we can make adjustments for next time. So we're embracing curiosity and putting a plan together. And so in this healing season around holidays, I would recommend embracing the 3 Ps. And the 3 Ps are: 1, being preemptive. So that's you being preemptive, that you have the power to replace anything with something that's of greater value. And being preemptive means that you're taking action that's initiated by yourself for yourself. So the first P is being preemptive in whatever you're doing for this holiday season, totally focused on you. The second P is planning. Be a planner. Create a detailed program or effort for yourself. When you go to a kid's event and they have a program, well, they have a structure for the schedule of events that are happening for that program. We get to do that for ourselves for the holiday too, for what makes sense for us. So step number 2 is being a planner. Embrace planning. And in planning, you're the boss of you. You're totally in charge, and you can own your plan and just own it. You've put it together. It's your Goldilocks plan, and go out there and do it all for yourself. So being a planner is just saying, I'm the boss of me, that nobody else is the boss. I am the boss of me. And the third P is being protective. When we're protective of ourselves, we shield ourselves from exposure, injury, damage, or destruction, and we remain whole with integrity as we move through the process. So embracing 3 Ps, which is preemptive, planning, and being protective, we are really being decisive and active and bold, and we're staying and reclaiming our power in all of this. So, in order to do these 3 Ps for the holiday season, we need to look at, what does that look for us? And some of us, again, we might be navigating not having the children for this holiday, the first holiday. We might be celebrating with a new set of friends. Maybe it's a Friendsgiving, or, maybe we're, choosing to stay home. So, whatever situation you find you're in, just, write that down. What is the situation at hand? What am I up against this season? And, this holiday. And then the mission, you can, again, name this mission. So Operation Thanksgiving, taking care of myself, or name it Operation First Thanksgiving. And, again, this is just putting in place a plan for you to feel safe navigating this holiday season together, to going forward for yourself. So you're with the mission, you're taking care of you, you're feeling safe, you're surrounded by supportive people and friendlies. Like only those type of people who can support you should be on this mission for this Thanksgiving. And that just all looks at reduced stress. So, putting together the mission for what you're looking at and over the holiday season here for Thanksgiving. So as we move into how do we plan and execute that mission? Well, one, we need to really check in with ourselves for what we want to do on that day. And I recommend in the next 24 to 48 hours, like really sitting down with yourself and asking yourself, how do you want to spend this Thanksgiving? Do you want to spend it with people? Do you want to go and do Friendsgiving, or maybe you want to go to the beach? Like this is all about you, and you get to decide what you want to do. And, it doesn't even have to be, you have to stay for the whole Thanksgiving meal. Maybe it's going for appetizer, going for a drink and an appetizer, and then you're going to sky out of there, for the rest of the meal. Or maybe you're going to come in for, maybe you really like the pumpkin pie or the apple pie, or, whatever games they have later, that might be something for you to come in for dessert. Maybe you want to spend a day in jammies, like having a jammy Thanksgiving. Like I vote yes, like having jammy Thanksgiving sounds really awesome to me, and eating popcorn and, doing whatever you like to do on that day. Like I vote yes. Think about the people that you want to be around, or the people that, are supportive of you. And, you don't have to take on the full experience of Thanksgiving. You can have an alternative. If you want to go to the beach, or you want to do part of it or not part of it, like you get to decide what you want to do and be creative. Like this is your thing. I know a few Thanksgivings ago, I wasn't feeling it, and I decided the night before Thanksgiving that I wanted to go out and have drinks with my friends. So that was my Thanksgiving. Or I've also done Thanksgiving, a few days after. So, there's no right or wrong thing about Thanksgiving. This is about you and what you want to do. And the second part of, now that you've got your vision about what you want to do, and it's clear, like in your intuition, what feels good for you and what feels safe, then it's putting those things in place. So how can you plan for that? So, do you want to go alone, or do you need a friend? Or, the other thing is, making sure that you have your own car. If you want to leave or need to leave or feeling overwhelmed, don't drive with somebody else. Make sure you have your own transportation to and from the event. So you can leave when you need to, and you're not feeling hostage to anybody else or the event. So, having that car and you're like, hey, I'm out of here. I mean, that's awesome. You're under your own power. And I think that's what this Thanksgiving is all about, own power. Again, talk with the host. I may have to leave early, and I'll let you know if I need to leave, or whatever things that you feel comfortable talking with the host about. That would be great, so that you can feel supportive, and if you need to leave, you need to leave. Again, is there any family or friends that you want to tell about this event and how you need it to go about, and the planning with all of that? So who else are the friendlies that are on your team during this holiday season? And if you are going into enemy territory, that may be a toxic family, or that may be, something of wherever you're going. It's not like the ideal thing, but for whatever reason, you're deciding to do it. Be very clear on your why. Like, why are you doing it? So if you're really clear on your why, like, I'm doing this because I really want to do this, and I want to go see XYZ person, or I'm doing this for the kids, or whatever, be very clear about your why. I recommend not doing anything for somebody else, but if you can be really good in your why, then that kind of helps to diffuse a little bit of the conflict with going to this event with toxics. You also might want to put a time frame around how much time you're going to be spending at that event. And, with all of that, you don't have to go for the whole event. Again, you get to do it just for you, the Goldilocks version just for you. And if you are going to that toxic Thanksgiving event, maybe consider scheduling an event before, something, maybe it's going to Starbucks and getting a coffee and just chilling. And, you go to that portion of the event, and then after you go to, another event, like maybe, there's something, you go for a walk, or schedule some time with a friend that you can debrief. So all that stuff doesn't get planted into your head, and that you're wrestling with that for the next couple of days. So being able to, determine what it is and how you want to do it is all about the plan. So let's talk about the day of the event. So we're coming up on next Thursday, Thanksgiving, and I really recommend setting aside 10 minutes to 30 minutes that morning to just really go inward and feel all the feels. I recommend getting a journal, and, there may be some grief, there may be some anger, there may be some sadness, there may be some hurt, and setting a time limit, actually getting a timer and turning that to 10 or 30 minutes. We don't want to be sitting and stewing in that the whole day, but setting up a time period for you to feel and let go of those emotions. That might mean, lighting a candle for that time, or setting a timer. But, really letting yourself feel the feels, the all the things that are happening that morning where you might be frustrated or whatever, and make sure you write it down in a journal in your own handwriting. And I find that, journaling in your own handwriting, you're actually talking to your brain, and you're helping to rewire some of those thoughts and letting out, the surrendering, the allowing. And so, I have found that, like, Palm Pilots, I know that's kind of old school, and some of the journaling functions that might be on the computer, those aren't as effective as doing journaling exercise. So, in that 10 minutes to 30 minutes, to really feel all the feels and just journal and let it out. And that might be crying, that might be letting out some screams or silent screams, or whatever it is. Feeling that frustration and just, letting your body move through how it needs to move through. And once you're done, the timer's off, then let all that stuff go and continue on with your day. I think one of the things in the healing season is just getting stuck in despair, getting stuck in the grief cycle. And if we can have friends and family and, other supports, and even ourselves, to get out of that and just allow those times where we can feel all the feels. And, again, if you get to the day of the event and you're just not feeling it, it's totally okay to sit it out. Call the host and just say, this has been a really tough season for me. And I just, I thought I was going to be able to do it, but I think the best for me is just to sit home. And that's okay. It's okay if you made a plan and you need to abort the plan. That's okay. It's about you. And it's about you reclaiming your power. And it's about being decisive and active and bold in making a Thanksgiving holiday program that's perfect for you. And you might consider, minimizing the amount of alcoholic drinks that you might have so you don't get pushed over to the edge of being in the emotional area and not being able to think and be in your power. And, another thing for me that really helps, I do not like to go to the grocery store like the week before Thanksgiving. And it just always triggers me for some reason, but there's all these families and couples and everybody shopping for turkeys and, they're all in like pairs and family units. And for whatever reason, that just really, doesn't sit well with me. And so I actively try to pick up all my items for Thanksgiving, by Monday of that week. And if I do need to put anything, if I need to buy anything, if I've missed anything, I definitely go to the grocery store later in the day. Like I'm shopping at 8 or 9 or 10 p.m. because that's mostly when single people are in there. And I'm not barraged with couples and I'm not barraged with families and all of that holiday hoopla. And so anyway, that's something that I do for myself. And again, sometimes we get this romantic holiday narrative, and I don't feel like I fit in that anymore, in being single again. Like that romantic holiday narrative, that just doesn't fit me anymore. And I don't really ascribe to the Hallmark Channel or I feel like I'm doing things a little counterculture, and we all get to do what's right for us. So there is no solid answer. And, whatever feels good for you is the best thing for you. So, again, for this holiday season, we want to be preemptive, we want to plan, and we want to be protective so that we can self-support ourselves in this holiday season with friends and family as we navigate a new normal in this holiday season. And again, I just want to say you can also speak up for yourself. I remember going to this really nice event. It was, I think, Christmas last year. And for some reason, they had turned on like sappy love songs, and it just wasn't sitting well with me. And I went up to the host and I said, hey, would you mind if we turned it to some rock and roll or some other channel? Like, do you really care? And they didn't really care. So we switched it up and we had some dance music on. And, again, I was not going to sit in all of that and be proactive and be an advocate for myself. So if there's anything else that any of you find has been helpful for you in this new healing season for Thanksgiving, please drop them in the comments. And also, subscribe to this channel. And again, this is all about the healing season and trauma wellness and creating a community of like-minded people navigating healing from narcissistic abuse, divorce, or trauma. And I hope to hear about some of your successes, or, if you've been out there, really wondering, sitting with yourself of what you do for Thanksgiving. I would love to hear that too. Being around other people in the healing season and sharing and hearing how others do it, it helps me to try on things that I might not have considered. So please drop those in the comments. And again, namaste to all of you. And I look forward to my next video. I'm probably launch one before Thanksgiving. So again, thank you again. Have a really great day. Take care. Bye-bye.